Yeah, hi there. These comments are for 6277, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. I just read your essay. So your topic here is some students prefer to attend a small university, others prefer to attend a big university. Discuss the advantages of each. This is where I think you can improve on. So then indicate which type of university you prefer. Use specific reasons and details to support your answer. So for you, you need to focus when you get to paragraph number 2 and number 3. These two paragraphs should focus around discussing the advantages of small and large universities. So in paragraph 3, instead of getting to your opinion, I would objectively discuss why some choose big universities, and then in this final paragraph, that's where you get your specific argument. That's what I would recommend. Okay, so let's look at the first paragraph. The purposes of students. I think we need to work on this introduction too. Students. But even before we get to that, I think we need some bigger statements here. So after high school, some students may decide to attend universities in order to further their academic knowledge and to increase their chances of getting a high-paying job. Or getting high-paying jobs. In making their choice, the students will consider the location, reputation, so another factor in choosing I'll start off with small. Have advantages. See, your thesis was a little too specific. I think if you just start off something like this, I think it will work. So let's see what we have. How many words do we have here, first of all? Got about 73. So after high school, some students may decide to attend universities in order to further their academic knowledge and to increase their chances of getting high-paying jobs. In making their choices, these students will consider the location, the reputation, and the academic and extracurricular activities that universities offer them. Another factor in choosing universities relates to whether these institutions are large or small. According to these students, small and large universities have advantages. So if you frame it like this, then you're focusing on the first part of the question. You could also have another thesis telling your opinion, but it's good to frame the beginning of the essay that you are talking about the advantages of each of these types of schools. That's what you want to do in the beginning. All right, let's take a look at your second paragraph. So you say the small universities are usually require less tuition to attract people to apply their department. In contrast, the equivalent university will be much older than big university. Secondly, the environment of universities, including location and air pollution, the big university, which is located in a big city, can receive some news and new technology faster than small university, which is located at outskirts. However, a small university has good air quality, while a big university has not. Too many ideas. Too many. You can't do that. Now, if you only focused on just tuition, and you talked about the tuition at larger and smaller schools, and that's it, maybe tuition, financial aid or something, your paragraph would be a lot more developed, and it would be much more focused. But you did not do that. You can't do this. This paragraph simply has too many ideas, and it isn't really clear who is saying this. Are you making this argument yourself? Or are you stating other people's arguments? So you don't really have a good topic sentence that connects back to the actual writing task so we can understand what's going on. For example, how does this paragraph here relate back to the advantages of smaller schools? You have small school, big schools, you're trying to do everything there. Now, I took your paragraph, I rewrote it. Let's see how my paragraph is different. It says, first of all, and let's compare here. So this is a pretty fat paragraph. We got 161 words. It says some students prefer smaller schools because they're less expensive. That's it. Believe it or not, all this paragraph focuses on just that idea. For instance, small universities such as the University of Redlands, which has an enrollment of 5,000 students, wants to attract students to enroll, so they offer tuition that is much lower. Maybe you don't have to say to enroll because we said that a minute ago. For example, than that of larger schools such as the University of California, Los Angeles, which has an enrollment of 30,000 plus students. In addition, these smaller schools often have more financial aid available to incoming students to take advantage of, which will also provide work-study programs for their enrolled students so that they can earn some money in addition to taking classes toward their undergraduate and graduate majors. Therefore, lower tuition, ample financial aid, and work-study programs offered at smaller schools help students to achieve their financial goals without putting too much financial stress on them or their families. So this paragraph is more focused and it's more developed because I'm only focusing on the idea of maybe how smaller schools are less expensive, but I'm not even sure that that's true. But that's the argument you're trying to make. But traditionally in the United States, smaller schools, especially the private institutions, these schools usually have higher tuition than larger schools. At least that's kind of how it works here in the United States. Okay, so looking at your essay, I'm going to go over to the rubrics that I have to score this particular paper. So let's see what we have. Okay, I'm going to put you to about 2.5 out of 5, 17 points out of 30. Also, for the purposes of our class here at California State University, San Bernardino, that's going to put you at a score of 70% out of 100. And as you can see, I'm making some pretty big changes with your writing, and particularly how you structured your essay in relation to the writing prompt. So let's take a look at the next paragraph that you have in your essay. So this paragraph focuses on the advantages of smaller schools, and then in the next paragraph it should focus on the advantages of larger universities. So instead of getting your opinion, you should probably just focus on more of a neutral standpoint as to why some people prefer larger schools. So in your idea, you have really 2 points. You have universities can receive new messages from the world faster, and then you have the tuition maybe is higher. You're saying that the quality of teaching is higher and the high-tech equipment is higher. But here's again the idea is you continue to put too many ideas within a paragraph, and you're not taking enough time to develop any of those points. If you want to show depth and progression of ideas, each paragraph should be focused more around one key idea. The paragraph is unified around that point, and then all the details within that paragraph, they help illustrate that one particular idea. That way you have a little more depth and you have more progression of ideas and thought, and that's going to work out better with your writing. Alright, so let's take a look at this third paragraph. So what I did is, I'm going to give you an idea here. You mentioned an idea like this. You talk about the quality higher than small school, right? When you're saying quality, you can refer to teaching, right? So in this paragraph, you have so many ideas. You don't have enough time to develop each idea. So I got this idea about the quality, and just that one point, this is what I discussed about the quality, particularly as it relates to teaching. And I developed this idea over 131 words. So here's what it looks like. Second of all, other students prefer larger universities because they believe that the quality of teaching is higher. Large schools such as Boston University and the University of Southern California, both of which boast enrollments for more than 25,000 students respectively, have professors who teach students effectively. And these professors are well published because the universities support their research interests. In addition, these professors, since they are or maybe we'll say larger, I'm going to say larger universities, larger universities, since they are competitive, are able to choose from a hiring pool of some of the best lecturers in the United States. In addition, since these professors' classes are large, they can get plenty of feedback from their students each term to help them improve their teaching. Of course, students benefit from the excellent teaching since they will find maybe their courses dynamic, engaging, and easy to understand. Now we get into your opinion. This is what we want to do here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of your ideas and then show you how you can develop that one point throughout that paragraph, right? Okay, so in the next part of the video here, I'm taking a look at your final paragraph, right? So this one we're done with. So you have the university, you like the bigger university, you stated 2 reasons, right? And the one thing that you left here, you mentioned, was high-tech equipment. And what I want to do is I'm going to show you how you can develop just that one idea, in 130 words. That's what we're going to do right now. So let's take a look at this paragraph. So notice this. How many words do we have here? This is your conclusion. 178 words. Believe it or not, all focused around high-tech equipment. So here it is. In my opinion, I will choose big universities rather than small universities because these larger schools have newer high-tech equipment from which students and faculty can benefit. For example, California State University San Bernardino, which has an enrollment of 20,000 students, uses smart boards so that professors do not have to use chalk and whiteboard markers when they teach their classes. In addition, professors who use these smart boards can actively engage students by using the internet and these smart boards, even being able to make and save screenshots of important presentations. After the class, the professors can use this high-tech equipment to send emails to students containing the most important points of the presentations. Finally, larger schools typically have bigger budgets so that they can continually update their chemistry, physics, biology, and other labs on campus to ensure that students are using the most high-tech equipment available in their respective academic disciplines. Therefore, the high-tech equipment often available at larger schools is the primary reason why I prefer these larger schools. Alright, so overall with your essay, you scored 2.5 out of 5, 17 points out of 30, or 70% out of 100. And your essay, I rewrote it here to show you what you have to do to get a score of 5 out of 5, or 30 points out of 30. So let's take a look at the essay one more time. I'm going to do just a quick spell check. Okay, we're going to make a few corrections as we go here too. So here's our first paragraph, just one more time. After high school, some students may decide to attend universities in order to further their academic knowledge and to increase their chances of getting high-paying jobs. In making their choices, these students will consider the location, the reputation, and the academic and extracurricular activities that universities offer them. Another factor in choosing universities relates to whether these institutions are large or small. According to these students, small and large universities have advantages. First of all, some students prefer smaller schools because they're less expensive. For instance, small universities such as the University of Redlands, which has an enrollment of 5,000 students, wants to attract students, so they offer tuition that is much lower, for example, than that of larger schools such as the University of California, Los Angeles, which has an enrollment of 30,000 plus students. In addition, these smaller schools often have more financial aid available to incoming students to take advantage of, which will also help them make the smaller school less expensive than the larger one. And I'm going to take this and make it plural here, so it would help make smaller schools less expensive. Finally, these smaller schools often provide work-study programs for their enrolled students so that they can earn some money in addition to taking classes toward their undergraduate and graduate majors. Therefore, lower tuition, ample financial aid, and work-study programs offered at smaller schools help students to achieve their financial goals without putting too much financial stress on them or their families. Second of all, other students prefer larger universities because they believe that the quality of teaching is higher. Large schools such as Boston University and the University of Southern California, both of which boast enrollments of of more than 25,000 students respectively have professors who teach students effectively. And these professors are well published because the universities support their research interests. In addition, larger universities, since they are competitive, let me make that spell check here. There it is. Since they are competitive, are able to choose from a hiring pool of some of the best lecturers in the United States. In addition, since these professors' classes use the S apostrophe to show a plural possessive noun, they can get plenty of feedback from their students each term to help them improve their teaching. Of course, students benefit from the excellent teaching since they will find their courses dynamic, engaging, and easy to understand. And now here's our conclusion. In my opinion, I would choose big universities rather than small universities because these larger schools have newer, high-tech equipment from which students and faculty can benefit. For example, California State University San Bernardino, which has an enrollment of 20,000 students, uses smart boards so that professors do not have to use chalk and whiteboard markers when they teach their classes. In addition, professors who use these smart boards can actively engage students by using the internet and these smart boards, even being able to make and save screenshots of important presentations. After the class, the professors can use this high-tech equipment to send emails to students containing the most important points of the presentations. Finally, larger schools typically have bigger budgets so that they can continually update their chemistry, physics, biology, and other labs on campus to ensure that students are using the most high-tech. Notice how I repeat a key word from the topic near the end here. High-tech equipment available in their respective academic disciplines. Therefore, the high-tech equipment often available at larger schools is the primary reason why I prefer these larger, maybe instead of schools, let's change this to entities, which is another like institutions. We got it. So with your writing, I think the one thing you got to be, there's really two main things that you have to think about right now. Number one is make sure you look at the writing task and then you address whatever that writing task is. So in this case, discussing the advantages of each type of school first and then moving to your specific opinion would have been a better way to structure the writing, and that's why I revised the essay the way that I did. Now the second thing is make sure that each paragraph it focuses around 1 or 2 points at the most. So that way you have a lot more depth and progression of ideas. That's why in paragraph 2 I just focused on the cost of smaller schools, and that was all I did. In the next paragraph I focused on the quality of teaching at larger institutions. And in the final paragraph, I only focused on the high-tech equipment which I believe is offered at, or which you believe, you're writing it, which you believe is offered at the larger schools. So you got to really be careful, I think, with those two specific things, and remember, be as specific as you can with the types of vocabulary words that you use, and that also shows you have very good command of the language. All right, so thank you for completing this writing practice test.